Great morning and beautiful Sunday. My name is Janae Johnson, and I'm your Religious Education and Communications Coordinator here at Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg, Florida. Today, I will be a part of our service with the help of Sabine and many other members of our congregation. Our faith asks us to serve others. It's part of our second UU principle: justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. Now, what do we mean by deploying church? For over 100 years and counting, our UU has thrived on the hours of our amazing volunteer efforts. Our community grows in progression because of our outreach and what we provide. Our work takes place in the context of the interpersonal relationships abroad. We are not a creedal faith. We are a faith of covenant. So when the doors closed temporarily in March, we had to ask ourselves, how can we embody church outside of the consistent settings of our church building? We begin with our own morals and ethics and how they gently align with our UU principles. Then I would define what the word deploy even means in this context: to bring into effective action, utilize. I believe that our third principle reinstates the faith into people as they receive a service or good from our wonderful collection of spiritual beings. Offering healing and help to people must start with asking them how they define the problem they are struggling with. Connect to one of our social justice endeavors. There are many ways to be active. There are many ways to get off of the sofa and deploy yourself to a cause, even from a distance.
Amelia, now, whoever you are, wherever you have come, whatever has brought you here, you are welcome here. We'll begin the service with our chalice. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek into the love, and to help one another.
Of Edward Everett Hale. I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the thing that I can do. A while back, I heard Miss Janae use the phrase, deploy church. That resonated deeply in me. Knowing that the COVID virus is limiting so many of our activities, I was inspired by our members and friends who were continuing to do work for social justice and to keep our church and community going. This morning, we'll hear from some of our UU heroes and see photos where they have provided an answer to the question, at a time when there's a nation divided and a cloud of global pandemic looming large, what propels you off the couch to do good?
Spirit of Life by Karen McDade is one of the most often sung hymns from the Singing the Living tradition. In 2007, Kimberly French interviewed Karen McDade about the Spirit of Life for an article in UU World magazine. This is an excerpt describing the night she actually wrote the song. So this is the story that I chose for the Story of All Ages today, just in case anyone didn't know the backstory to one of our most popular songs. Like much of McDade's music, the genesis of Spirit of Life was a very personal one. Late one night in the early 1980s, she was driving her close friend Pat Simon home from one of those meetings. In UU tellings of the story, it has been called a church, social justice meeting, an anti-nuclear power demonstration, and a remembrance of Harvey Milk, the openly gay San Francisco city supervisor who was assassinated in 1978. Versions that may work well to make a sermon point. But McDade says it was a meeting for Central America solidarity, probably at college. What she remembers most clearly was the feeling she had. When I got to Pat's house, I told her, I feel like a piece of dried cardboard that has lain in the attic for years. Just open wide the door and I'll be dust. I was tired. not with my community, but with the world. She just sat with me, and I loved her for sitting with me. McDade then drove to her own home in Newtonville. I walked through my house in the dark and found my piano. And that's when I was in prayer. May I not drop out. It was written, but prayed. I knew more than anything that I wanted to continue in faith with the movement. The song started out as a prayer by a woman who was trying to stay in faith with a larger social justice movement. But Spirit of Life slowly grew into a life of its own. The song spread to UU congregations, and when the UUA published Singing the Living Tradition in the early 1990s, Spirit of Life was included. It had become one of the most important hymnals for Unitarian Universalists. For many UUs, this hymn is a regular part of coming together. A creative UU added hand signals. Some churches use Spirit of Life as part of their weekly worship ritual, as a chalice lighting, or as part of the closing. It has also been sung as a prayer for strength. As hundreds of UUs gathered to prepare for the banner parade at the 2003 UUA-GA, a man from Colorado experienced a heart attack in the middle of the crowd. As medical responders first worked to save his life, the others gathered spontaneously and began to sing Spirit of Life. Spirit of Life began as a prayer by a single woman with no intention of it becoming a hymn for a religious movement. However, that is actually what happened with the hymnal. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. In this case, the roots are the prayerfulness that is the center of the song's creation. And the wings are all of us who sing it and spread it through the faith in our communities. That's one way. That's another way we can get up off of our couch. Start with a simple prayer. Thank you.
This morning, Miss Janae and I wanted to share with you videos, pictures, and statements from UUSP members and friends who are finding ways to deploy church. Please know that this is just a sampling of our UU heroes. We are grateful to all who weed our church grounds, work on or plan for our facilities, say yes at the drop of a hat to welcome members who are needing shelter from the hurricane, who serve as leaders, those who got out the vote, who make food accessible to the food insecure, who welcome and integrate our immigrant families, who build tiny homes for homeless veterans, who visit or call our UU neighbors, and those who minister to the brokenhearted. And I'm sure I didn't get it all. This is a church of tremendous caring and commitment, and we are part of a larger Unitarian Universalist family that is bringing values of peace and love to a wounded nation.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for including me in this, what I'm sure will be a wonderful church service. I'm feeling very awkward, but hopefully we can carry off this video without too much trouble. The question of why I do volunteer work was really pretty easy for me. Growing up in a family that provided shelter and support to refugees of war, many with numbers tattooed on their arms. The message was loud and clear and deeply internalized. Those of us who were fortunate enough to live relatively comfortably needed to care for those who struggled. I carried this into my professional life as a social worker for decades, and then eventually as an acupuncture physician. I've just always been involved in my communities through volunteer work. Finding UU was perfect. With its commitment to the inherent worth and dignity of people and pets and other animals and the earth. Well, everything just fell together, and I know I'm in the right place. Thanks. Bye.
Buddy, good to talk to you all. Today, Billy and I sat down together and wrote out a few things that we thought were pertinent to how we're living our lives and helping the world. And here they are. First, we bike all over town to talk with community folks, create goodwill, and make people feel better. That's the one thing we do the most of. We participate and collect food for the Southside Bridge, the food bridge. We donate to college students who need a hands up in the way of Women on the Way in St. Pete College. Mainly, the other main thing we do is cultivate and grow flowers for beauty and peace of mind and the joy that they bring. Then, do other things. We provide a talking space for two of our neighbors so they can release their troubled minds somewhat. Billy provides a very good buddy relationship with his sailing partner, Christina. And I and Billy provide a listening post for several people. We help them understand things and make it through these tough times. And mostly, we keep an upbeat attitude towards life, right?
Right.
That we do.
Hi, I'm Karen Cole. I've had the privilege of getting to know two very different Congolese refugee families over the past 5 years. They have had many challenges, beginning with fleeing their country in fear for their lives. Here is Twizer and 3 of his children. He spent 10 years in a United Nations refugee camp in Uganda. Met his wife there, married, and their first 2 children were born there. Sifa is on the left and Jabu on the right. Little Tarek was born in St. Pete. Despite many hardships to get here and adjusting to a new culture and language, he is a happy, peaceful man and a very proud father. The look on his face as he looks down at Jabu captures his love of family. And frankly, what is more important than our families and our beloved community? Thank you.
Hi, my name's Dave Cole. I've been asked to briefly say why I'm active with FAST, the Faith, Action, Strength Together, a coalition of some 40 religious organizations, including UUSP here in Pinellas County. More importantly for me is that African American churches are actively involved. FAST's mission is to attack some of the root causes of social injustice within our county. For example, FAST has been active in pushing the county to provide more affordable housing in the county. Further, FAST has successfully lobbied the Pinellas School Board to use better ways to handle problem children within school and less reliance on out-of-school suspension. Thank you.
Hi, Janae here again. So one of the things that I wanted to share as far as me getting up off my sofa. At the beginning of quarantine, I picked up a new hobby. One of the hobbies was making jellies and jams, preserves. So I was making strawberry, grape, apple, you name it, I made it. Another thing that I had picked up on was giving to the Friday night picnic. Now, there was a period in time where I was not able to give anything because I just had to have everything that I had and just hold it near and dear, because if I didn't have it, I didn't have it. That was when I was operating from a space of lack. But as long as I continue to operate in a space of gratitude, abundance always follows, and I'm able to give more to a bigger cause, something bigger than myself, because at the end of the day, when we give, it is partially about how we feel inside, but it's not just about us, it's for the community. So I like to think of people as communities, as worker bees, ants. Like, the colonies cannot be successful if they don't work together. That's just what I think it is. Thank you, guys.
Morning, all. What gets me up off the couch continues to be my Catholic parents in memory, my Unitarian friends from childhood and onward, and my Jewish friends from college and onward. They all were concerned about justice, community, and learning, and they talked about them all the time and acted on them. And they made a difference for the good. Once I started to get an inkling of their understanding and caring and the possibilities they saw, I found that the couch was no longer a comfortable place. And once I was up and moving, I found you can't stop. And I found that I loved the movement and the companions it gave me. I do know also that the couch will be there for when I can't move anymore. Have a great morning.
I've been motivated by a deep concern for the future of our democracy, by the belief that our diversity is an incredible asset, and by a sometimes tortuous love of problem solving, making a space a little more inviting, a message a little clearer, and a decision a little more reasoned and thoughtful. And I really hate sitting on couches.
Good morning. Focusing on what I might do for someone else turns out to be the best thing I can do for myself. My scholarship project, selling my paintings to raise money for college scholarships for African American youth, has been the happiest thing I've ever done. Thanks.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we strive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we strive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive in this great turning. We shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.
Today's offering, we have Share the Plate Sunday, which means half of the non-pledge portion of today's offering will support one of this congregation's social justice projects. Your donation will be used to provide holiday food, gifts for the children, and clothing to both of the Congolese families that this congregation supports. Today, Karen Cole introduced you to one of them. Thank you for your generosity. And now, as we listen to the music, let us reflect on those in our transgender community who have suffered physical, psychic, and spiritual assault, and who are honored this Friday, November 20th, Transgender Day of Remembrance.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
For today's announcements, next Sunday, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, is traditionally Stone Soup Sunday, where we auction off soup bowls and then eat a bowl of homemade soup made by Reggie Craig and Karen Frank. It is a community building event as well as a fundraiser for UU's Helping People, whose primary ministry is the Friday night picnic. This year, we have a new twist on Stone Soup Sunday. We are extending it through the month. Last weekend, we collected cans of food for the South Side Food Bridge. And this evening, we will host a soup-making Zoom session at 4:30 with gourmand and world traveler John Motter, who will invite us to join him virtually in making soup, which you could then store for next Sunday when we celebrate Stone Soup Sunday during coffee hour. The recipe can be found in Infonet. If you have additional announcements that you would like to share, please type them into chat for all to see. Thank you.
Notice your heart center. Does it feel different? Do you feel more warm, openness, and tenderness? We are here to learn with our hearts and minds. We are here to engage in integrated experiences that are anchored by soul-stirring narratives. We learn that by what we do and the example we set, we ensue the transformative power of justice and love. May you have happiness. May you be free from suffering. May you experience joy and ease. May you pay it forward. May you be in the now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Trish Harding. I'm one of the RE teachers at UU St. Pete. Before I extinguish the chalice, I'd like to read this benediction, which was inspired by Choose to Bless the World by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker. No matter how weak or frightened we may feel, we each have gifts that can make a difference in the world. In this coming week, may you do at least one thing to support the broken, to welcome the stranger, to celebrate the worthy, to do the work of justice and love. Be strong, be connected. Each day, act so that you may be a little more whole. And now I'll extinguish the flame. Have a great week. Namaste.
This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on song. This is the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on
And we're so glad that you've turned this on and welcomed us into your home. And you are welcome into our home. We're in Dayton, Ohio. We're in Sean's parents' house.
My parents' house.
Sean's parents' house. We were in Louisville when the shit hit, and we packed our 3-year-old into a car. We drove kind of far. We drove here, and we've been so lucky and blessed to be safely here. And we thought we'd be here for like 10 days, tops.
What did we know?
What did we know?
What
did we know? We thought we knew a lot. We thought we knew a lot. Woo.
Keep going on.
Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. And we've been mostly healthy. We've been okay. Are you okay? Are you alright? Are you okay? Are you alright? Are you okay? I hope your body is whole tonight. And if your heart is breaking, I hope it's breaking open. And if your breath is shaking, I hope it's shaking through. And I hope that you've watched a lot of really great television, like a lot of it. And I hope that you find a hand lotion that actually makes your skin feel better. And I hope that you have enough to eat. I hope you're getting enough sleep, and I hope you have enough good company or enough good memory to last you a long time. Keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. We sing the keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. Let's bring some joy into the room, why not? We could try it, we could try it. Or some rage,
Keep going, keep going.
and some grief and relief. Ooh, I hope my rage, I pray my rage is a fire that cleans my mind out and makes me ready to listen. I pray my pain is a river that flows to the ocean that connects my pain to yours. And I pray my happiness is like pollen that flies to you and pollinates your joy. Oh boy, is that possible? I don't know, we are making this up as we go. We have to make it up as we go. The keep going song, the keep going song. Oh, we're making it up as we go. Keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. And I pray that when we meet again, that the world has changed into the world that we are imagining now together. And I pray that the world has become the world that we're planting inside of ourselves for each other and for our ancestors and for our kids. Ooh, and we're gonna start. This is a rough beginning. That's all I've got is a rough beginning to offer you. We're gonna start by singing some songs in this tiny space together. We're just gonna sing some songs for you, and we hope that when you hear them, you will feel a little bit less alone, and we will feel a little bit less alone in the work and in the hurt, and we will be together tonight somehow, whenever this is, wherever this is. We will be together tonight for the keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going, keep going, keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going on.
keep going on song. This is a keep going on. Keep going on song. This is a keep going